A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus passed through the towns and villages, teaching as he went and making his way to Jerusalem. Someone asked him, "Lord, will only a few be saved?" He answered them, "Strive to enter through the narrow gate, for many, I tell you, will attempt to enter, but will not be strong enough. After the master of the house has arisen and locked the door, then you will stand outside knocking and saying, 'Lord, open the door for us.' He will say to you in reply, 'I do not know where you are from.' Then you'll say, 'But we ate and drank in your company, and you taught in our streets.' Then he will say to you, 'I do not know where you are from. Depart from me, all you evildoers.' And there will be wailing and grinding of teeth when you see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all the prophets in the kingdom of God, and you yourselves cast out. And people will come from the east and the west, and from the north and the south, and will recline at the table of the kingdom of God. For behold, some are last who will be first, and some who are first will be last." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
I was talking with Renee D., who's our National Vocation Director. Any young people may be hearing the call from God to be a sister, a brother, a deacon, a priest. Maybe you should be in touch with her. But we weren't talking about anything that was quite so holy. She had found an app for her phone that was kind of like a Name That Tune from the 80s. And if you could get the tune and in one note, you would win. I wasn't very good at it. But remembering the tune is important. The regent honey eater, a bird of the southeast Australia, is on the verge of extinction. A couple of decades ago, they squared out a piece of Australia, and in that little area there were 1,500 of these birds, but a recent count says there are only 300 left. Researchers found out why. The young male birds lost memory of the love song they'd sing to attract the females. The females remembered it, the males didn't. I'm sure all the women here are saying, well, that's no surprise. Somewhere along the line, the males picked up other tunes from other birds and they'd sing those songs, but the females just wouldn't respond. The females, in a sense, said, "No other song will do." Thus mating has fallen off to a dangerous level. Knowing the song is absolutely necessary for life to continue. These days, we wonder why so few people are coming to church, or why we can't convince our young people to actively participate in their faith. We question, what have we lost? In the second reading, the author of the letter to the Hebrews asks a question that might help us answer that. The author says, "Have you forgotten the exhortation to you?" And the discipline he talks about is the discipline of love. The discipline that says, go the extra mile with a stranger. The discipline of giving coats and shirts when you encounter someone in need. Loaning money to people that you know they're probably not going to give it back. And Jesus taught us a love song that was so powerful that over the centuries it attracted billions of people? Have we learned songs that no longer attract, like the honey-eater birds? The sex abuse scandal revealed that we learned the worldly song of self-preservation, not love. Fighting over Latin or English Mass or facing the wall or not showed that we have learned the music of division, not love for one another. Clergy who model themselves after administrators and do not have smell of the sheep tells us that as a church we've learned the song of business and not the song of the love of Christ. God's people are like the female regent honey eaters, only recognizing the love of Christ, the song of the love of Christ, not the song of other institutions. It doesn't matter which language the song is in if it's not a song of love. People of faith don't recognize the song of business, no matter how well the parish is run. If the parish's business is not love, it won't attract. Have we forgotten the song that says to people, "You are precious"? Have we forgotten the song that says to every single person, "You are valued"? Have we lost the song that says, "You are worthy of my attention"? Jesus in today's gospel spoke of a narrow gate. The narrow gate Jesus is talking about is the gate that only loving people can enter. There's all sorts of theories about what is this gate that Jesus was talking about, and many archaeologists believe it actually existed, and the people of his own time knew which gate he meant. There's archaeological evidence that during the daytime there'd be a large gate that would open and let the people in and out of Jerusalem. But it was closed at night for safety. But people still needed to get in and out. And so there was a very narrow gate. It was very thin. And if you were carrying weapons of a larger size, you couldn't get in with anything bulky because it was just too narrow. The theory is that you had to come in for peaceable reasons. You could only get in if you knew a song of peace and love. That gate is narrow, but Jesus says it's the only way in. People of Jesus' own time seemed to object to his thinking, and they reminded him, "Hey, Jesus, we ate and drank with you." I went to Mass and received communion, I guess. And Jesus doesn't recognize their song because it's not a song of love. It's basically just the song of showing up, not the music of self-giving love. And Jesus says, "Depart from me, you singers of other songs." And people will stand outside singing other songs, but Jesus says, "I only recognize the music of justice, of mercy, of inclusion, of fairness and deep care. Even if you are at the end of the line, you'll be let in first if you sing one of those songs." Do you dare change your tune? Can you make the changes in your life so that the world will recognize Christ's loving song in you? If a family of another race was to move into your neighborhood, would you sing a song of welcome? If a neighbor had an illness and the family was in need, would you sing the love song of care and tell them, "We'll take care of the kids until your family is healthy again"? On a dangerously hot day and an elderly neighbor finds him or herself melting because of the heat, would you hum the tune of an air conditioner song and invite them over to cool down? The people Jesus loved so much, the outsider, the hurting, the lonely, and the poor, only recognize the Christian song of radical love. Will you take time and relearn that song and then act upon it? The author of Hebrews wonders if we've forgotten and if we are no longer disciplined in radical love. Our chorus of love just might be the thing that draws people back. Our chorus of love might be the one that Christ recognizes. Perhaps you're thinking, Father, I'm only one person. What good will it do? The world sings a tune that's much louder. It sings tunes of anger, hate, greed, self-centeredness, racism, fear, and lack of respect for life. My little song's going to get drowned out. Remember, the gate is narrow, but small actions can have big results. Allow me to mix metaphors for a moment. High above our heads, right now, there is a rocket, and the rocket is named DART, and it's heading towards the asteroid Dimorphos. Dimorphos poses no threat to the Earth, and but scientists want to know what happens when the DART, traveling 15,000 miles an hour, hits a half a football-sized asteroid. The hope is that it will nudge the asteroid 1 degree. And if it moves 1 degree, if you move an asteroid just 1 degree on its trajectory, that could save the Earth and stop a direct hit. It's a tiny change, but it could have enormous effects on the Earth. The act of love, your love song, could make all the difference in the world. I know many of you gave school supplies to the needy kids in our area, and perhaps that small act of kindness will make a difference in one kid's life. It could change the direction of that kid's life by only 1 degree right now. But by the time the kid is 18, he or she might be heading towards college because of your kindness. That kid could go on to graduate school and find a cure for cancer, find a solution to global warming, or how to take salt out of the ocean on a large scale and solve our water problems. No more brown grass. A 1 degree change might make all the difference in our world for that child. I'm sure many of you here can think of a tiny act of kindness done to you as a kid by some caring adult, and you know it changed your life forever. Don't think your small efforts make no difference. If nothing else, it keeps the love song going so others learn it. The author of Hebrews calls us today to remember that tune of love. Jesus says, if you aren't singing the song of radical love, I won't recognize you, and I won't be able to let you enter into the heavenly choir. Our music just might get recognized by those longing to belong to a world of peace and goodness and join our efforts. So I ask you, do you dare to change your tune today and sing the song of Christ's love loudly and proudly?